Hello there everybody, my name is Michael, and this is my speed run for Nancy Drew, Warnings at Waverly Academy. I managed to beat this game in a little bit under an hour, and all throughout this video I'll just talk about the game in general and speed running the game in particular. So this is the opening cutscene of Danielle being attacked by the black cat.
Let me out! Hey! This is funny! Let me out! Let me out!
And the game is going to start with a conversation between Nancy and Corinne. This conversation takes about 2.5 minutes. I'm going to get through the conversation as quickly as possible by picking the second conversation option.
I mean, you're the person who stuck rooming with me.
I'm going to be quiet for a bit so you guys can see what's going on.
Dwelling space. You don't mind having a roommate? Not at all. The roommate I used to have, Danielle, she and I got along great. I was told you could help me, get oriented.
Alright, so what I did there was I avoided the conversation about Danielle, which saves me a little bit of time. And I also avoided the conversation about the term paper that Corinne is working on. That also saves me some time, but I can't skip the rest of the conversation, so there's really nothing for me to do here besides sit and wait for her to stop talking.
Just make sure you read the part in the guide about Waverly's demerit system really well. It's enforced by Paige. Believe me, you do not want to mess with her. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, this floor is special because
there's an awful lot of backstory for Corinne to get through.
Named valedictorian gets a full ride scholarship to the university of her choice, so it's a pretty big deal. Of course, the only truly viable candidate is me. Oh, and I should probably tell you about the curse.
The curse?
Some of the kids on this floor have been getting these, threatening notes from someone calling herself the Black Cat.
Okay, 2 questions here, Corinne. Number 1, why do you call it a curse? Because clearly it's a case of sabotage. And number 2, how do you know the notes are coming from somebody calling herself the Black Cat? I mean, we saw a note earlier on in this video. The note said, "Time's up." It didn't say, "Time's up, yours most sincerely, Black Cat." So how do people know that the notes are from the Black Cat when none of the notes are signed?
I hadn't really thought of it that way, but yeah.
That's my question. I'll have more questions about the Black Cat notes later on, don't you worry. Later on, Nancy will get notes herself from the Black Cat.
Well, guess I'd better go start meeting people. Yeah, I guess you'd better.
Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do after leaving the room is go to Rachel and start with Rachel's web project.
Never mind.
You have 2 choices for doing this. Number 1, you can pick up the note in Nancy's room. There's a note on the desk which says, "Hello Becca, my name is Rachel. Could you please help me with my web design project?" Option number 2 is to go straight to Rachel and talk to her without reading the note from Rachel.
I just transferred here.
It's a little bit faster to go to Rachel without reading the note ahead of time, so that's why I'm doing that here.
Let me have your cell phone. My cell phone? Yeah, so I can set you up on the local network. It'll just take a second. Okay. This way you'll be able to get texted and keep up on all
Now
the
the text messages are somewhat dangerous during a speed run.
Look, my room's on the other side
because
of the study
some of
hall,
the
but
text
lately I've been
messages
spending most
take
of my
a
time
long
in the
time.
library.
I think one of them takes about
which means when
2
it comes
minutes.
to the lay of the land, I got the best map.
Yeah, I mean, the text message, which is a picture of Corinne and Izzy, that's going to lead to about a minute-long conversation with Izzy. So obviously you don't want to receive that text message. And there's one about Izzy stealing Leela's boyfriend. That leads to another conversation, which is about a minute and a half.
And boy, am I glad you're here.
So just be careful with the text messages if you're doing a speed run. There are some you don't want to read at all, and there are some which are okay to read.
I was hoping you could help me.
And I'll talk more about that later on when we actually start getting text messages for the first time.
I'm Rachel Hubbard. I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm here on a scholarship. I blew a recent AP Chem test, which means I probably won't be valedictorian unless everybody else totally messes up. I love dogs, I hate cauliflower, my favorite subject's math, and I am desperate. Look, I just need you to do grunt work. Take pictures and upload them mostly. The pages I'm designing will be part of the Waverly School website.
Well, I do love doing grunt work. You have yourself a deal, Rachel.
This will be a great way to get oriented and meet people. I mean, you just met me.
Yeah, Rachel wants us to take 12 pictures over the course of the game.
Thank you.
And you take the pictures with your cell phone, which is the same way you actually read text messages. So this is why text messages are dangerous. You might want to take out your cell phone to take a picture, and then all of a sudden you're reading a text message, which is going to waste a lot of time.
I'll check the pictures once they're up.
So that was a big problem the first time I tried to speedrun this game. In this run, it's not a problem. In this run, I was careful, made sure not to have any problems with the text messages.
I really appreciate this, Becca.
Okay, see you later, Rachel. So I decided to talk to Rachel before talking to Mel because I have to get Mel's picture.
Much followed by more. Wonder why it was spelled with 2 O's instead of 1.
And you absolutely have to take a look at that piece of paper.
Check that off yet.
Otherwise, you won't be able to ask Mel about getting Megan's picture.
Let's graduate from here.
Everybody in my family who attends Waverly has to hang that thing in a
So,
room.
I don't know, I just thought I thought it would be funny to have this conversation with Mel about the, whatever you call it, the sampler, before actually talking to Mel.
What you call a legacy. I was admitted automatically.
I mean, we had that long conversation with Mel, and then...
I'm Becca Sawyer.
Then we introduce ourselves to Mel. I just thought it'd be funny to do things out of order that way.
The one who got kicked out of some school in France?
How did you know?
The primary source of all wisdom and truth around here has been all a buzz.
What's the rumor mill been saying about the black cat?
The black cat is
this conversation with Mel is pretty easy to get through. No matter which option you take, she's going to say the exact same thing.
Who wound up having to go home sick.
I mean, we have 2 options here. You can pick either one. She's just going to say the same thing, no matter which option you pick.
Look, enough about the black cat. The other girls can buy into that garbage all they want, but the pea brain that's behind this, I refuse to give her the satisfaction. So if you have questions,
so now I'm gonna ask Mel for her picture.
845-555-1849.
I need to take a close-up of you for a page on the school website I'm helping put up.
If the school wants my picture on its website, groovy. Blast away.
And now I ask about getting the picture of her roommate. And if I didn't look at that piece of paper with Megan's name on it, I would not have been able to ask her about it.
Check the rec room downstairs.
And if you don't ask about the picture, Leela Yadav is not going to appear in the rec room downstairs. You need to know that she's downstairs in order to have her actually be there. Very interesting. Okay, so that's the book. Here I'm just getting some things out of the way. I need to see that Corinne is the assistant librarian. I need to see that the website isn't working. Because of course, Waverly doesn't want its students to access the school website. That would be craziness. And I'm checking out the 2 books. I checked out the 2 books that you're going to have to get later on in the game.
On your roommate assignment. You know, it might not be too late to get it changed. Do you have a roommate? My roommate's Leela Yadav, athletic superstar and savior of Waverly's athletic program. We actually get along fine. Probably because we're pretty much equals. Everyone knows who she is, and everyone knows who I am. A word to the wise. Avoid hanging out with your roommate as much as possible. Nobody likes Corinne. She must have some friends. Nope. Nobody who's worth being friends with anyway. But look, don't worry. Everyone knows rooming with Corinne wasn't your idea. As long as you don't hang out with her, nobody's going to hold it against you.
Not much to say here. This is a conversation that you can't skip.
Hey, this is the real world.
And then finally, once that conversation is over, we take her picture, and then we start the DNA puzzle.
Rachel roped you into helping her, huh? Lucky you. Your first day, you get to spend it with every loser in our class. Ready for my close-up, darling? Apparently, I need to get a password from you before I can use the school's computer. That's right. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, I need to finish this DNA model before I can give it to you.
Izzy. Oh,
Want me to
man.
help you? Sure.
This
you
is
bet.
going to be a running
Excellent
theme
idea.
throughout this game. Everybody's
Here's
going
what
to
you need
force
to do.
you to do
You
their
just have to make
schoolwork.
sure
I mean,
adding in
Rachel
is
wants you
always
to help
paired
with the
fun,
project,
and
which is nice.
sightseeing is
Rachel
always paired with
asked
one.
very
And make
politely,
sure each pair
but
sticks
Izzy's
switches
just
around
going to
the alternating
blackmail
sugar
you
across
into
the
doing
inside.
it.
Just jump in. You'll figure it out. When you're done, bring it back. And
Okay,
if
so
you
what I
get it
did
right,
here
I'll
to
tell you the password.
speedrun this
Sounds
part of the
good.
game was I saved my game and then I did
What
the
else is going
DNA
on?
puzzle about
I need to get going. Hop in
10
anytime.
times in a row. And this was the fastest time. My fastest time for solving this puzzle was 57 seconds, so a little bit under a minute. I guess maybe you could get through this puzzle a little bit faster. But the location of the pieces on the top board are randomly determined. So, I mean, the pieces are going to be in different locations every single time. Their final space on the board is the same every single time, but where they are on the top board is different, so that will throw you off. That's why it's kind of hard to solve this puzzle quickly. There I go. That was a relatively fast solution.
Here it is. Awesome. Okay, your password is WAC35NE136. WAC35NE136. Got it. Thanks. What else is going on? I
Not
need to
much.
get going. Adios.
Okay, I'm just gonna jump on the computer here and learn about the snack shack. Yeah, that's basically the reason why you need to go on the computer. It's so you can learn about the snack shack. And you can learn about the missing book from the library, which is a subplot that I'm basically going to skip.
Hi. Hey, how come I couldn't
And
find
here I'm going to talk to
online,
Green.
like on your page? Is that a big deal?
I found out that she
Oh,
was
yeah.
assistant librarian and that the door to the special collections cabinet is locked. So Nancy puts those two pieces of information together and realizes that Corrine can help her get the Book of Four,
I took my page down because...
which is the book mentioned in the sampler on the wall in Mel's room.
Do you have a boyfriend? Yeah. Who is he? Where does he live? Come on, you can tell me stuff. I'm your roommate. I'm sorry, but I'd rather not talk about him right now, okay? Yeah, okay, whatever. So what do you want to talk about? Do you know where I can get the key that opens the special collections cabinet in the library? You can get it from me. How bad do you want it?
And now she's going to blackmail Nancy into doing her homework.
I'd really like to look at. Okay,
Corrine, you are not the best roommate ever. I mean,
you can finish these orthographic views for me.
what kind of roommate forces her roommate to do her homework? That's not nice, Corrine.
Each object has
This
a
is
front,
why
top,
Nancy
and
doesn't
side.
share personal
Those are
information
examples
with
in case
you.
need them. I can do that. Bring them back when you're done. Anything else?
The picture.
Rachel enlisted me to help her get her
Yeah, I
web
have to get the
project
picture.
done. Better you than me. In fact, I need to take your picture for it. Whip out your camera and let's get it over with. Cheese. I'll let you get back to your paper. Later.
Alright, so what I did here was solve this puzzle 3 times in a row. And this was my fastest time, 31 seconds. It's not the easiest puzzle because just like the DNA puzzle, the location of the pieces is randomly determined. But I made a couple of mistakes here. I probably should have solved this puzzle one more time. I could have done it a little bit faster. See, I made a mistake there, and I made a mistake with the U piece. Just 2 tiny mistakes. They didn't waste that much time, but I still probably should have redone that puzzle.
Whatever books you take out, be sure to put them back when you're done. They're too old and fragile to carry around. I will. And leave the key in the lock. I'll grab it later.
Okay, that is not very responsible just to leave the key in the lock if the cabinet has all sorts of rare and antique books. Okay, so now I'm going to talk to Rachel and get her picture.
Hi. Hi. I'm Becca Sawyer. Remember?
Remember?
Sorry, I totally blanked on your name. Get all the
Okay,
pictures
Rachel
I
doesn't
wanted?
remember us. That's
Not yet.
kind of
But
odd.
one thing, I need to take a picture of you.
Oh,
Great. Let's do it. Fab. Listen, be sure to let me know.
You know, now I'm starting to wonder, why doesn't Rachel have a picture of herself?
Did I tell you not to bother with Danielle Hayes' picture? No,
And I
but her
mean,
name's
don't
been
they
scratched
have
off,
like,
so that's what I figured.
they have pictures. We'll see later on in this video. They have student IDs. Everybody took a picture for a student ID. Why can't she just use those pictures?
Well, good luck with your papers. Bye. Oh, one more question.
Okay, let's forget about that minor problem there. What I'm going to be doing now is solving puzzles in the second half of the game before I reach the second half of the game. I'm gonna take pictures of things for Rachel. Okay, and here,
Looks like Mel
I get a text message, like I said earlier. When you try to use the phone as a camera, you'll accidentally read text messages. Now that was a safe text message. That one's safe. It leads to optional conversations with Mel about the note. However, the ones about Izzy, those are non-optional conversations. If you read those text messages, you are going to have conversations with Izzy. So it's best not to read those text messages. And this is kind of strange, you know. This is the only picture that you have to zoom in on. With all the other pictures, you don't zoom in.
I don't want to leave just yet.
Just that one. Okay, and these are all the pictures that you take in the second half of the game. Okay, there's the squirrel, Casper the squirrel, and you have to take a picture of the oak tree. Yeah. We'll see later on. Rachel's going to say, "Hey, Nancy, could you take these pictures for me?" I'm just taking the pictures before she even wants me to take them. So I'm saving time by taking the pictures ahead of time.
Well, hey, little guy. What's up? What are you doing? Hey! Come back here!
Mean old squirrel.
He must have some kind of nest up there.
Alrighty, and then we're going to have a conversation with Ned, which
Hello?
is sort of like the conversation with Corinne at the start of the game. It's long, and you can't skip any of it.
I sure am.
So how's it going?
Terrible. I can't figure out whether any of the girls I've met
It's
so far
faster to say
actually
terrible
like
than it is to say great.
Of course they like you.
And even if they do like me,
It's
no
only
one's going to
faster
commit to
by
being
like
my
half a
friend
second
until they're
though.
sure
It's
about where
not
I
that
fit in
much of a
around here
time saver.
socially.
They got a pecking order going, huh?
And it is brutal, like junior high on steroids.
Just be yourself and you'll do fine.
Be myself. Ned, I'm a detective. I'm pretty much here to spy on people. If they get wind of that...
Like I said, just lie through your teeth and you'll do fine. What about the case? Any luck tracking down the source of those mysterious notes?
They're being sent by someone who signs them as the Black Cat, complete with a paw print and scratch marks. And only valedictorian
How does Nancy know that? She hasn't seen any of these notes yet.
Grudge against brainy kids?
Or one of the brainy kids is trying to get rid of her competition.
Yeah, how does Nancy know what the notes look like? She hasn't actually seen any of the notes. I completely skipped the optional conversations about seeing the note for Danielle.
But how smart can these kids be if they're intimidated?
And I skipped, seeing the second note that Mel got. Yeah. Nancy.
For tests and madly writing papers. The notes may be
Nancy knows information that she shouldn't know. Maybe she's the Black Cat.
Malicious, huh? You're not posing as a valedictorian, are you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, she's not smart enough to
Although I am
get away
living on
with
the same
fooling
floor as
everybody
her.
into thinking she's the
You had to throw
valedictorian.
that in, didn't you?
Sorry.
So what is your plan?
I'm going to search every inch of this place and question everybody I see until something or someone leads me to the Black Cat.
And in the process, you're going to be
Very careful.
Right.
Right.
Time to do some more snooping.
Okay, and now I'm going to talk to Leela.
I will, Ned. Talk to you soon.
Oh yeah, I need to examine these things. You can't solve the piano puzzle without doing that. You have to look at one of the lamps.
The girl who came all the way from France with just the clothes on her back? Becca something? Becca Sawyer. I'm Leela Yadav. Welcome to Waverly. How come you're not working on a paper or studying like everybody else? I'm working on 2 papers actually, but they're both under control, so I'm taking a break. Playing the games in here keeps my reflexes sharp. People think I'm just saying that, but it's true. In fact, let's play air hockey. Come on, by helping me stay in shape, you'll be helping out your new school. You want to get off on the right foot here, don't ya? Yeah, but I don't have time right now. I told Rachel Hubbard I'd help her with her web project. That's too bad. Too bad I can't play, or too bad I'm helping Rachel? Both, but mostly too bad you're being subjected to Rachel on your very first day. Why do you say that? She's got this bizarre schizoid thing going. She'll say something one day, then deny it the next, or she'll do something, then claim she didn't. She's actually kind of scary. You'll see. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if she's the Black Cat. You heard about the Black Cat, right? Oh yeah, I heard. See, Rachel flunked a test
Yeah, I think all 5 of the characters start off with a sort of long conversation that you can't skip.
She thinks we're to blame, and she's using this Black Cat
Corinne,
to freak us all out.
Izzy, Mel, and Rachel, to some extent.
I've won state championships in both soccer and basketball.
Anyway, I'm just gonna get the picture from her and the other picture from her.
Because you're in the running for valedictorian, I need to get a close-up of you for the school website, if that's okay. No problem. Fire when ready.
Okay, and the picture from, the picture of Megan.
Megan Vargas from you? Yeah, I've got a picture of her you could use. And if you beat me at a game of air hockey, I'll go get it for you.
Now see, all the other girls force you to do their work for them, but Leela forces you to play ice hockey with her. Not ice hockey, air hockey with her. It's interesting. All the girls just use Nancy as their personal maid who does work for them. Except for Leela. Leela just uses her to play games with.
Got it. Then let's get it on.
Okay, so what I did here was I played air hockey. Jeez, maybe about 20 times. This was my fastest time. About 50 seconds. But it's still not the fastest possible time. I bet if you make every single shot, you probably can. I don't know how you can do it, but if you're really, really good, you could make every single shot. And that's how you could possibly have a better speedrun than I do here, by being much better at air hockey. Yeah, not scoring on yourself is a sign of being bad at air hockey. Wait, what did I say here? No, I scored on myself, and that's the sign of being bad at air hockey. If you're good at air hockey, unlike me, you won't score on yourself.
Need anything else? Do you think I could borrow the old menu that you borrowed from the display case in the foyer? Yeah, in fact, I got it right here.
I took a look at the display case earlier on.
I keep forgetting to
and now that I've read the journal, I can talk to her about the display case.
Let me guess. I have to beat you at a game. Air hockey or Scram? You get to pick. Air hockey. Excellent.
And this is probably really boring. It's the air hockey game again. The exact same air hockey game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was a pretty good air hockey game. I score rather well. Except for the time when I score on myself. That was a nice goal. That was completely unintended, but it was still a nice goal.
Point. Goal.
Yep, and that's when I score on myself. And Leela takes the credit for it, even though it was totally my fault.
One for the good guys.
I mean, she didn't even touch the puck there.
And the winner is you. Congrats. There's the menu. Thank you.
Alright, you might have noticed the screen changed a little bit there because I switched from one game to another. Because I played the same game twice. As you saw, I just ran the footage of the air hockey game twice. Okay, so this is, I was talking over it, but Leela talks about her boyfriend, and this causes Nancy to receive a text about the boyfriend. And that's one of the text messages which you shouldn't read because it's going to lead to about a minute-long conversation with Izzy and Leela.
Sorry, I need it for the paper I'm writing. But I'll tell you what, if you get my math notebook,
and now I'm just learning about the book from Rachel.
Borrow the Victorian book. know Mel's just down the hall, but...
The Victorian book, which I looked up a long time ago. I looked up the book before learning why I needed to look up the book,
See you then.
but that still counts. Which is really nice, and now I'm going to talk to Mel about the two books.
Becca the new girl, what's going on?
Number 1 is Rachel's math notebook for the Victorian dining puzzle, and number 2 is the book on music, which she checked out earlier.
That's all right. I can go get it.
Why do you want her math notebook?
Well, actually, Rachel,
You don't need to read the math book. You don't need to read the music book. You don't need to read it, you just need to have it in your possession in order to solve the music puzzle.
Everyone else around here. In other words, for the most part, I totally ignore her. I don't know what her problem is.
that book on
And if you
music
didn't
theory
take a
you
look
checked out,
at the
can I take a
musical
look at
note
it?
lampshades,
problem.
then you wouldn't be able to ask her for the music
As long
book.
as you go get me some milk and a cookie from the snack shop.
Oh great, now she's gonna
Not
force
that
us
I'm
to get
lazy
her
to do it
food.
myself. It's just that.
You have a certain image to maintain.
And milk and cookies don't exactly enhance it.
Understood. I'll be back.
It's okay, the snack shop is not that difficult. I did really well with the snack shop this time. It takes me 41
Okay,
seconds.
everybody. Snack shop's open.
You know, including Nancy saying, okay everybody, snack shop's open. The next time I do snack shop,
Get your order. You do like calculus.
it takes me 51 seconds. I mean, I only have 3 orders to fill. I don't know how that happened. I was just really, really lucky then.
The best looking teacher in the whole universe. Order up. It's supposed to snow pretty soon. Blizzard type snow. There. All done.
And now I get the key.
Whoa.
This is
Wonder
the
what
key
this is
for
to.
outside. And I'm also going to get the key over here, which opens the display cabinet with the Victorian dining menu.
Hey, what's going on? Did you get that
And
picture
Leela
of
has
Megan
had
for
enough
me?
time to go upstairs and get the
Right here.
picture.
But the only way you're going to get it from me is by beating me at Scram.
Really? Really? I'm going to have to play
Say
more
as
games
before,
with you?
Bring it on. Yes. Okay. Each game has 2 rounds.
So
You
how
play
long does
one
it take
round
for
as
me
the
to beat
blocker
this
and
game?
the
3
other
minutes,
round
3
as the
minutes,
scorer,
okay.
And you take turns
I played
throwing
this
the
game
dice.
twice. The
First,
first
the
time
blocker
it took me
throws
4
3
minutes.
dice. Then the
The second
scorer
time it
throws
took me
3
3
dice, and
minutes.
so on.
It's still
Now,
sort of a
the object
long
of the
game.
is for the blocker to end the round by landing a dart in any section
Now,
of all 20 numbers,
conceivably,
while the object of the game for the
you could
scorer
play
is
this game
gotcha.
on senior
To
mode
accumulate
and it
as
would
many
go more
points as
quickly
possible
because on
before the
senior
round ends.
mode, Leela is
Simply
much
hitting
better.
the bullseye is worth 50 points, and hitting the ring outside
Now
is worth
that could
25.
save you a little bit of
That's
time.
right.
However,
Once
it
all
would
the
make the
numbers are
air
close,
hockey
the
challenge
rules
a
are
lot
reversed,
more
and you play
difficult.
another round. After
And,
2 rounds,
you know, that would
whoever has
probably waste
accumulated
the
most
time I
points
save
wins.
here on
Just
Scram.
like in regular darts, the harder the section of any number is to hit, the more points you get. So, you ready? I'm
Plus, it would
ready.
make the
Game
DNA
on.
puzzle harder.
So,
It would
in
make
this round,
a
you're
lot
the
of the other
blocker.
puzzles
You're going to
harder.
try to hit the high numbers so they get
So
crossed off to
playing
score.
on senior mode would
Think I got
help
it.
you with only
Okay,
this
so now
game.
it's
It wouldn't
bingo.
help you with all the other
Alright.
ones. All the other mini challenges would be much
Good,
harder
good.
on senior mode.
Bingo!
So here my strategy is basically just click 3 times in a row whenever I get to make a shot. 1, 2, 3.
Bingo! Yes! All right! Yes! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Bingo!
Yeah, not much to say here. This is me playing Scram.
Nailed it! Bingo! Darn!
Oh, I missed one. It's okay, I'm still gonna win.
Oh yeah! All right! I'm blocker this round. I did it!
So this is the harder part to speedrun. You have to know where the numbers are ahead of time. It's 19, and then 17, and then 18. So basically what I did here was I look around the board right now while Leela is taking her turn to figure out which 3 numbers I'm going to hit. I accidentally missed 16 there. Oh well.
Yes! I did it! I did it! Oh yeah! All right!
Alright, that was very good.
Oh yeah! Blew that. Bingo!
Yep, okay, and at this point, I've won. There's no way Leela can, beat my score now.
I did it!
Unless she gets, like, I don't know, 24s in a row.
Gosh, I'm good. Gosh, I'm good. Darn. And the winner is you. Congrats. Here's the photo of Megan you wanted.
Great. It looks like I'll have to take a picture of a picture.
All done. You can keep it. Thanks. Want to play again?
No, that took
thanks.
forever.
Need anything else?
No, not really.
I better get going. Okie dokie.
Yeah, see you later, Leela. Now I'm just going to go to the library and get Rachel's math notebook.
Something tells me I don't see Rachel's math book anywhere because it wound up in here. Those are Roman numerals.
2641, that's the combination. And I'm going to upload the pictures here, and this is something which is kind of funny, I think. You'll notice that I got the food for Mel, right? I got the food for Mel. I'm not going to give it to her until the next day. I'm actually going to skip ahead to the next day. Mel's still going to be happy about it, even though the food is a day old. Okay, upload the pictures. Am I going to tell Rachel that I uploaded the pictures, or am I just going to skip to the next day? Looks like I'm going to go to Rachel and tell her I uploaded the pictures.
What?
Yeah,
Hey,
this is kind of funny. I have the conversation about the pictures, right? Then I'm going to leave the room and immediately come back and have the conversation about the math notebook.
And click on the Meet the Candidates link again. It'll take you to a description of exactly where I want everything to go. No problem. I'll check the page when you're done to make sure everything's kosher.
I don't know why Rachel can't do this herself. Clearly, she can access the web page because she can see whether or not it's correct.
We have something else for you to do.
So she can access the web page, but she can't actually set it up herself?
I'm really grateful for your help.
I don't know. Well, she can put stuff up on the web page, right? She put up the instructions, so I see no reason why she can't arrange things herself. Rachel.
Notebook. Bob, I'll take that. Has math always been your favorite subject? Math? Science is more my thing. But before, you said math was. Well, actually, I like them both, so I kind of go back and forth. Anyway, the book's all yours. Go ahead and take it. I gotta get back to work here. I'll see you later.
Alrighty, and now I'm just going to go outside. I am going to go outside. I'm going to go to the room and skip ahead to the next day. Fortunately, I didn't have any text messages there. Now there's a text message. Alright, and chasing after the squirrel.
What I need is an expert tree climber to show me the best way up this thing.
Basically what I did here was I had the answers written out on a piece of paper, so I basically just followed the pictures to get through this puzzle. Because my memory is not that good. I can't memorize all these spots. Yeah, it's a total of like 18 different spots you have to have memorized to get through this puzzle. You know, that's too many for me. Okay, so I get the Starburst token. And now during that cutscene, I'm going to get this ID. Yeah. See, now everybody has a picture for a school ID. Why couldn't Rachel have used those pictures for her website? Huh? Rachel? Rachel, why didn't you do that?
Did that.
I'm starting to question Rachel and her needing help from Becca/Nancy.
Did that.
Because clearly,
Check.
Rachel can access this
That's
website page herself. So why does she need somebody else to do it for her? I'm just confused. Why can't Rachel do all the work from her bedroom? That's what I'm wondering. Okay, day breaks. Nancy loses her phone.
Nuts. There goes my phone. Wait a second. What's this? Looks like Danielle did get a second note from the Black
Okay,
Cat.
now here's my question. How does Nancy know that note is from the Black Cat? How does she know that note is for Danielle? And how does she know
Guess who just got
that
a
was
note
the
from
second
Black
note?
Cat? Congratulations.
I mean, conceivably, that could have been the first note, right?
Stay away from closets.
And conceivably,
Don't
that
worry.
note could have been for Corrine, not Danielle. This is my problem with those Black Cat notes. They're not signed or addressed, so how do you know who they're from and who they're for? It's just slightly confusing. And we found Mel's barrette, which is important because Mel's one of the people who was at the meeting last night, wearing the cloaks. And what I did here was I solved this puzzle 4 times in a row, and this was my fastest time. Believe it or not, the thing which makes this puzzle take up a lot of time is what Nancy says at the end. I mean, the fastest thing Nancy says is, okay, the puzzle's done now. And here she's going to talk for about 10 seconds. You'll see here in a moment.
There, all done. Hopefully Rachel will agree.
Now, it's fastest if Nancy says, okay, I'm done. However, what she says is going to be randomly determined, so there's no way to control it.
You've got my snack. Awesome.
And Mel is
There you go.
really psyched about the snack, even though I got it yesterday. It's
What else is going on?
day-old milk
I
and
found your
cookies,
barrette.
but she still loves
Hey,
eating
hey,
them.
Thanks. I don't know why I bother with these things. They're always falling out of my hair.
I know. This one fell out of your hair at that cloak
This
and
right
dagger meeting you
here
were at
is
last
a
night.
conversation about the Blackwood
What meeting?
Society,
I don't know what
which
you're talking about.
I was
I was
hoping I
watching
would
Mel
be able to
from up in
skip,
the oak tree.
but
I saw
you can't skip it.
I'm not going to tell you
It takes
anything,
about
so
2
whatever
minutes to
you
get through
think
this
you saw,
conversation,
just
but
forget
Nancy
it.
really does
I
have to
can't
learn
just
about the
forget what I
Blackwood
saw.
Society
You
in
know
order
it.
to solve the final
Now,
puzzle of the
whatever
game.
you tell me will go no further than this room. I promise. I'm not looking for something to gossip about. I just want to know what's
If you
going
could find
on
a way
with
to
you,
solve
that's
the
all.
final puzzle without learning about the Blackwood Society, it would probably save
What
you
you saw was a
about
meeting of the Blackwood Society.
4 to 5 minutes of
Secret club
gameplay.
Someone at Waverly started a couple of years after the school was founded. Only 7 girls a year get chosen to be members.
What does the Blackwood Society do?
We just meet. There's no talking or socializing. We
There's
literally
no
just stand
talking
around
at
for
the
about
meetings.
20 minutes and chant. It's more like
Mel's going to mention this a
one
second
that keeps
time.
going even though everybody's forgotten how and why it started. Everything's totally anonymous. Everyone wears a black cloak except for the leader. Hers is light blue. And no one ever talks.
No one
They
ever
just
talks.
whisper, so you can't tell
Now,
who
this is
anyone
my
is.
question. If nobody
Once
ever
a month,
talks
I'll
at
get a
these
note or a
meetings,
text saying
how
there's
does
a meeting
Mel
that
know
night.
the
What
backstory
happens if you
to the
don't want to be
Blackwood
a member?
Society?
I have no idea. Look,
I mean,
to me,
obviously
belonging to the
she's a
Blackwood
member,
Society
that's how
is
she
cool.
found
Not
out,
because
but
it's
how did
secret
she
and
find out? She
exclusive and
didn't
all
find
that,
out about it
because I
at one
like
of the
being part of
meetings
something
because
that
nobody
someone
talks
a
at any
long
of these
time ago,
meetings.
for whatever reason, thought was important. I like not knowing what
Maybe
you
she
think,
got a letter
and
which
I
said,
accept
hello,
all the
you're
secrecy
the
and
newest member of the
anonymity,
Blackwood
because by
Society,
doing so,
and that
I
letter
get to be part of
explained
the condition
everything.
that's more than a
Maybe that's what
century old.
happened.
I'm sure some girls belong because they're too intimidated to quit, but I belong because the unknown is something I've always felt drawn to. Anyway, that's it. That's all you're going to get me to say on the matter.
I'll let you get back to your music.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
It's not locked.
What am am I doing now? I'm talking to
Becca,
Rachel.
Nice job on the
Oh
layout.
yeah, I solved the layout
What's
yesterday.
next? Next, I need you to take a few more pictures. Here's a list.
Fortunately,
They're all
I've already
things that are
taken
special
half
to
of these
Waverly
pictures
Academy.
already.
Iconic, I guess you'd say. They can all be found on the school grounds. The only one that might be a little problematic is the picture of Rita Hollowell and her cat. She was one of Waverly's founding teachers. There's a couple of references to the picture in the school records, but it hasn't been seen in eons. But if you can
I'm starting to wonder why we need why Rachel needs a picture of the entry arch to Waverly. Because if you go to the Waverly website, they have that as a picture on the website already.
I'll check them when they're up, and if I see any problems, I'll leave a note.
It's like that picture's already on the website. Why does Nancy need to take that picture?
Bye.
Oh well. What am I doing here? I am breaking into the room. Breaking and entering. Nancy, Nancy, Nancy. Alright, there's the key. So now we know that
The leader of the Blackwood Society
Izzy is the leader of the Blackwood Society. So I had to talk to Mel about that in order to find out that Izzy is the leader. Because Mel, Mel talked about the cloak in that conversation, and you can't break into the room and find the cloak until you talk to Mel about it. And now I'm skipping ahead to nighttime. Later that day. Well, technically not day because it's nighttime. Whatever. Nancy is going to do more breaking and entering. Oh, and this puzzle. You guys know what's coming, right? You have to fix the United States of America. Except for Washington, which was already in place. Let me see, I solved this puzzle in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Basically, I solved this puzzle, again, 10 times in a row. So now I'm really good at geography. My first time was 4 minutes. I managed to cut my time in half by solving this puzzle over and over and over again. You have to start with the states, which are on the outside. I couldn't put Oklahoma in place right now because it would be in the middle of nowhere. It would just fall off the board again if I tried to put Oklahoma in place. Montana, Nebraska, and Nevada. Okay, I have a question for you people watching this video. Maybe some of you can answer it. There is a version of this game in France. In France, it's something like Nancy Drew, Panique à Waverly Academy. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but my question is, do they keep this puzzle in the French version of the game? Because it seems like this puzzle might be too difficult for French people to solve. Heck, it's difficult even for Americans to solve, but if you don't know anything about American geography, this puzzle's probably impossible. So I'm just wondering, do they keep this puzzle in the French version of the game, or do they perhaps replace it with a map of France? I'm just curious. I don't know what the answer is. Alright, take the picture of the United States.
That's Rachel. What's she up to? I should probably find out. Check.
Do-do-do-do-do. Now, I find it kind of funny if you knock on the door 3 times and then break into her room. Because she doesn't hear you when you break into her room, even though she's standing there right outside the door. I find that slightly amusing, but I didn't do that because that would have been a time waster just for the sake of humor.
Oh my gosh, There's two of you?
Two Rachels?
Please don't tell. You mean you both go to school here, but everyone thinks just one
Now
of you
here's
does?
my question.
Including
If
the
we have two
administration?
Rachels,
But
why
we're not
is it
hurting
that Rachel
anyone.
does not have
It's
enough
not like
time to
anyone
do
else
her
is going
own
to use this
homework, and she
room or
forces
these
Nancy to do
leftovers.
work for
We've
her?
been doing this for years, Becca. If we were doing any harm, we would
I mean,
have
if
found out by
anything,
now.
Rachel should have her
Mother's
work
dead,
done
and our
twice as
brother was
quickly,
clueless when it
because
came
there are
to
two
raising
of her,
girls by
you know,
himself.
doing homework.
We were afraid that unless we somehow went off to boarding school, we'd wind up in foster homes.
I
So
don't
we
know,
applied for
maybe Rachel
scholarships
wanted to
all
fit
over
in
the
with all
place.
the other
This
kids
was
at
the
Waverly
only one we
Academy
got.
and, you
So
know,
we decided
force
to
Nancy
share
to
it.
do work for
And
her,
we've
because
only got
everybody
one
else is doing
semester,
it,
just
you know,
one.
Rachel just didn't
We're
want to
so
be left
close.
out.
Please don't tell Becca. Please.
Everybody keeps on hassling the new
This is
girl and making her
amazing.
do their homework.
Okay, I won't tell. And don't worry. I'm pretty good with secrets. Thank you. I just can't believe I'm the only one who knows. Actually, you're not. Kim? Someone else found out and blackmailed us into leaving those black cat notes for other people. You too are the black cat? No. We just make the notes and deliver them to whomever the real black cat tells us to. What are you doing? If she tells they're going to kick us out anyway, Rachel, she may as well know everything. Maybe she'll even help us.
Yeah, sure, I'll help you guys out.
You're Rachel and you're Kim? Right. How does this blackmailer black cat person communicate with you? Email. Each time is from a different address. We have no idea who's sending them. Well, I guess I could kind of, play detective and try to find out who it is. That would be so cool. Then we'd know something that person doesn't want anyone to find out. A stalemate. Yes! In the meantime, my sister needs to finish her dinner and you should go. Nobody cares if one of us isn't around, but if the new girl suddenly disappears...
Yeah, nobody
I
cares if
understand.
one of the
I'll
Rachels
see you guys tomorrow.
disappears.
I'll see one of you guys tomorrow. Night.
You know, why can't Rachel just, order an extra big meal every single time she goes to lunch and dinner? Does she really have to sneak around after hours? I mean, she could get in trouble for sneaking around after hours. She could get demerits. Which I'm getting right now for, that's what those text messages are. Those are notes from Paige saying, hey, you're getting demerits for not doing Snack Shack yesterday. Alright, so this is me solving the Victorian dining puzzle. I'm basically just reading the solution off a piece of paper at this point. Same thing with the music puzzle. Although it helps that I know how to read musical notation, so this was very easy. I mean, if you don't know which note is a C note and which note is an A note, then it's a little bit harder to figure out where the A5 is, and the C4, which I think is our final note here. C4, middle C. Okay, so those are the two starbursts, and now I'm going to solve the starburst token puzzle. Okay, you have to break into Izzy and Leela's room in order to read the book on Poe stories, otherwise you can't solve this puzzle. If you put the starburst in the correct location, it won't be accepted as a puzzle solution.
I need to take a picture of this
So you
I can upload
absolutely
it to
have
the
to read
website
that
along
book.
with the other icon photos. Rachel is going to be
And I like how I
thrilled.
took a picture while Nancy was busy talking. That was a little bit of a time saver. And things aren't very interesting here. This is basically just me doing everything that I have to. You're just going to go back and forth between downstairs and upstairs. Alright, so I'm uploading all those pictures for Rachel here. And I might as well talk to Izzy, because I have to learn about the chant from the Blackwood Society.
Seeing as you're the leader of the Blackwood Society, I need you to tell me something.
Oh, 10 more minutes until the game is over.
Who blabbed? Look, that's not important. I just need to hear that chant you guys repeat, word for word. The reason why is very complicated, but I promise you, whatever you tell me, I won't repeat it to anyone, ever. What's in it for me?
Nothing.
Nothing? Dude, I sure hope you don't intend to go into politics, because you'd stink at it.
Thanks for the
I'll owe you
compliment,
one.
Izzy.
How's that? I'll say it once, and that's all. 3 is fine, but 5 is more. Even 19 defeats 4. Should just 7 become lore, at least 2 will find the door. You owe me big.
Oh
How
my
did you get to
goodness.
be the
I can't
leader?
believe Rita
I got a
Howell went
text telling
through
me to go
such
to a certain
great
spot.
lengths
And when I
to
did,
hide the
there
book
was
of
the blue
Poe
cloak,
stories.
along with a note saying I was to choose 7 new members and in the spring a new leader. Everyone takes a vow of secrecy. Everyone thinks if they break it...
I mean, you'll see later on, she went to really
You
extreme
believe
lengths,
that?
one of which
No
is setting
harm in
up the
hedging
Blackwood
bets.
Society.
And
That
since you're
seems
in
like
on the secret now,
a
too,
bit too
you should probably
extreme.
do the same.
She managed to convince 7
now
students to
that
sit in a circle and
conversation's
chant
over,
for 20 minutes.
Forever. What else is going on?
And this has been going
I'll
on
catch you
for
later.
years,
No problem.
like 100 years. I can't believe that. That's a little extreme, but the really extreme part is setting up the deadly trap behind the furnace, which we'll see later on.
Becca, hey, you finished the icon pictures. You even found that picture of Hollowell and her cat. Great job. There's just one more thing I need you to do, and then you'll be done with me. Us.
What is it?
One of my web pages has to include the essay Corrine wrote that won the English department's coveted Pen to Paper award. So get a copy of it from her and upload it to the site, and that'll be that.
See, Rachel,
Any
can't you
idea
just
who the
email
real
Corrine
Black
and
Cat
say,
is
hey,
yet?
Corrine, email a
No,
copy
but don't
of that
worry, I'm
essay to
working
me?
on it.
My sister
Why
says I
does
shouldn't get my
Nancy
hopes up,
have to
but
go
I
through
can't
all
help
this
it.
trouble? You could have
I'll
just
stop
emailed
hassling you
her
now.
and gotten it,
Bye.
in under a minute, because Corrine does nothing besides sit at her computer all day long.
What's up, Rumi?
For the web page I'm helping Rachel put up, I need to get the essay you wrote that won the Pen to Paper award.
Oh yeah, Rachel mentioned that. I didn't think my paper was that great, but for some reason the entire faculty went totally gaga over it. I'll copy it onto a flash drive for you. But while I do that, would you do me a favor?
Sure, I guess.
I'm absolutely starving, and since you're snack shop boss, how about getting me a toasted bagel with cheese, an apple, some juice, and a candy bar?
Oh, come
As soon as you do, I'll
on,
send you the essay.
Corrine.
You
Are
got
you
it.
too lazy to go downstairs?
Guess who just got a second note from the Black Cat?
You're in for it.
And again, how do you know that note is for Nancy? Maybe that note could have been for Corrine. There's
Okay,
nothing
people,
indicating
I'm
who
ready
the
to
note
take
is
your
for.
orders.
Whoever this Black Cat person is clearly did not think things through.
Come get your order.
Her notes are all deliberately vague as to their recipients.
I love when that happens. It lets you get a really, really good whiff of
Okay, so what I did here was I did Snack Shack again like 5 times, and this was my fastest time. 51 seconds. It's under a minute.
Come get your order. There. All done.
Okay. Like I said, it's just basically running upstairs and downstairs and upstairs and downstairs.
Thank you.
Run upstairs, then I run downstairs to get the snack, then I run back upstairs to get the flash drive. Now I'm going to run downstairs to put it on the computer.
Great.
Then I have to run upstairs again to see the note that Corrine wrote. And then I'm going to run downstairs again for the final puzzle of the game. So that's basically the last 10 minutes of the game, just running up and down the stairs.
Wow. When it comes to Mr. Poe and maybe Miss, or should I say Nurse Hollowell, looks like Corrine's a bit of an expert. Corrine, you here? Guess not.
Not much to say here. I should not have clicked on the doors. That was a mistake. Alright, and we have plans over here. You don't have to read the plans in order to solve the puzzle. I mean, the blueprints here, you don't have to read the blueprints. You solve the puzzle even if you haven't read the blueprints, so that's why I skipped reading them. Corrine?
What are you doing here? Apparently the same thing you are. Looking for the treasure Rita Hollowell hid. Is that it? What is it? An old manuscript?
By Edgar Allan Poe. Never published. He told her where
Edgar Allan Poe, The Last Words. I wonder who made that cover for the book.
Rufus Griswold wouldn't end up with it. At least I think that's what happened.
You found all that out while you were researching that paper?
When I do research,
I guess it must have been Rita Hollowell who made the cover. She just decided to make a cover for this book.
She'd hidden something in this building. I wasn't sure where. Which is why you became the Black Cat.
I'm not the Black Cat. I didn't leave those notes.
No, you blackmailed someone else into doing that for you. Two someones, actually.
You're pretty smart. The question is, are you smart enough to live
Now
to
this
tell
is
the
interesting. Corrine apparently knows how the trap works. Because she knows the instant she takes that book, both the exits are going to close. And this is what I mean by an extreme amount of trouble that Rita Hollowell went through in order to protect the book. I'm amazed that thing is working so well after 150 years, to be quite honest. I mean, clearly these metal things are all rusted out. You can kind of see in the bottom left-hand one, very rusty, but it's still working. How much rust would there be after 150 years? I'm not sure. In any case, we solved the puzzle. Hooray! It's the end of the game, everybody.
No, forget it. You're not going anywhere till you tell me what the heck is going on. Come on, Mel. It's too long a story. I need to go. You just entered my room through the wall. I want an explanation.
I'll explain later. Now let me past. Stay right there, Mel.
You too? What is this?
Well, for Corrine, it's over. Because of all the meticulous research she'd done, Corrine knew Rita Hollowell had hidden something written by Poe somewhere in Ramsey Hall.
And nobody else in the past 150 years figured this out before
Her
Corrine.
only hope of finding it was by searching the entire
Even
building.
though every single member of Mel's family had the clue written on the
Most
wall,
spent midterm break elsewhere.
every single member of Mel's family did have that sampler clue on the wall. None of them figured it out.
Waverly legend and attempted to frighten her
And we have 7 members of the Blackwood Society every single year, so I mean 7 times 150. None of those people figured it out either.
Months before,
Nancy was the first one to figure it out. Alright, way to go, Nancy.
So that if anything went wrong, they
Smarter than hundreds of other
But
people.
thanks to me and to Mel, who wouldn't even let me out of her room until I told her everything.
And all of these people were valedictorians, too. Smarter than hundreds of valedictorians. Way to
She
go,
would never have
Nancy.
graduated at the top of her class if her greed, guile, and subconscious desire to
Or maybe she
retaliate
wasn't
against
smarter
her
than them.
classmates
Maybe one of them came really close to figuring it out, but they were too lazy to finish the map of the United States. So they decided, meh, I'm just gonna forget about finding this treasure.
She threw herself into her studies with a vengeance. Now, with Corrine out of the picture, the valedictorian contest has turned into an academic knockdown dragout between Izzy, Leela, Mel, and Megan.
Izzy, Leela, Mel, and Megan. I don't know why Rachel's in the picture because her name's not on the list of valedictorian candidates anymore.
But when some of Waverly's more influential alumni heard what had happened, they insisted the twins be unexpelled and even paid their tuition and board for the rest of the year. They contended that the audacious fraud Rachel and Kim had perpetrated stemmed from their determination to get a good education, and hence should be rewarded, not punished. And you know, I have the feeling Rita
Alright, so that's it,
and
everybody.
maybe
This
even
is
her
my
idol, Mr.
speedrun
Poe,
for Nancy
was pretty
Drew,
darn
winners
good
of
at making
Waverly
fiction
Academy.
seem like fact himself, would have very much agreed.
It was Izzy. Izzy! Alright, one award.